Well, hello YouTube. This is the Barbecue Trucker. This video is going to be about an update from Maverick and also some other considerations that I am considering. And the big question, was I struck by lightning? All that coming up next on the Barbecue Trucker. Well, hello YouTubians. Welcome back to the Barbecue Trucker. Okay, first let's go over, was I struck by lightning? Let me tell you what happened. Uh, the other night, a couple nights ago, two or three anyway, um, this wet stuff started falling out of the sky. And being it had been so long since we'd seen that, it took me a minute to figure out what it was, but it was actually rain. And I'm sitting out on the porch, smoking me a cigarette and enjoying a nice steady rain. No lightning or thunder yet. And just sitting there about halfway through the cigarette. Rain's really peaceful and smells good and all. Then all of a sudden, crack with a big splash and ba-boom right behind it. And I felt electricity go through my body. I felt it, seriously felt it. And immediately ran to the front door and opened it. And I heard my nephew, who'd just gone to bed in his room, laughing his ass off. But I bet he come a foot off the bed. He may deny it, but I guarantee you. That was just, I don't know where it hit, but it hit so close that it was like, the immediate thunder right behind the crack of lightning. And my vision went out for just a second. And excuse me, as it came back, it was for some of you who are a little bit older and are old enough to know what the TV looked like before they had digital TV and digital antennas. When you had a channel that didn't have signal coming in, it was what they called a snowy picture. That's the way my vision came back for a couple of seconds. And I did feel electricity. I mean, it was wild. I think that may not have actually got struck by lightning, but man, that's as close as I ever want to get. That was wicked. I'm going to tell you that was wicked. But anyway, okay, going back to doing a little bit of updating. I actually heard from Maverick. Woo! Not my recruiter. I sent him another email, and he, for some reason, I don't know, maybe he's not there anymore. I don't know, but he darn sure won't respond to emails, and I'll let him know about that when the time's right. But it was a lady from the recruiting department. Actually, they have a recruiting department where you turn your application in, and then they have a department that's I don't know, researches all the applications. Because one thing about Maverick, they're not like a lot of companies. They will have you 100% approved before they bring you in, and that's kind of awesome there. But anyway, she called me and was asked me a lot of medical questions. Am I on antidepressants? No. Antipsychotics? Yes. That's to keep me from killing everybody. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not on nothing like that. And so don't go spreading around that I am, because I'm not. But her number one concern, which is not going to be a concern, but she said she had to ask their DOT doctor, because she did explain to me, you're going to have to take a DOT physical when you get here. Maverick doesn't care if you had one a few days ago. They're going to give you their own with their own doctor. I don't know why they do that. I don't see why DOT physical from any doctor wouldn't be good enough, but that's the way they do it. No big deal. And she goes, and we have a very stringent abilities test. And I told her, yeah, I know all about the abilities test. I've seen enough videos to know, and I'm actually been lifting weights every time I go out. Not every time, but multiple times a day when I go out to smoke a cigarette. I curl my dumbbells, and also I've been doing stair stepping, because there's a stair stepper thing you got to do. And I actually bought me some sweatpants and all. I guess my excuse is I've been waiting for the weather to get a little bit cooler, which is supposed to be tomorrow. Probably going to be already in the mid-90s right now here in Central Texas. And but tomorrow it's supposed to be like in the 70s for the high, lows in the 50s and all that. So that's going to be great walking weather. My Doctor wants me to do 10,000 steps a day, which, man, that's like 2 miles, but we'll see. I've got to get an app. I'll have to figure out which one. And, the sweatsuit I bought got a little side pocket that zips up. You put your phone in. I guess that way you can keep up with your steps. And also, I'm going to start doing all that and getting ready for the agilities test. But anyway, her number one concern was I had my left kidney removed back in 2011. And she asked me if I had to do chemo or radiation, which I didn't. The cancer was contained inside the kidney, and they took it out. And she said she had to ask the DOT doctor if that would disqualify me from driving. Kidney taken out? She said, I doubt that it will. And I said, well, I know it won't. But anyway, we're waiting for that process now. I'm not in a big rush. I'm not going back on the road until the 1st of January due to prior obligations, and don't really have much going on in December, but I don't want to get started and then have to quit for the holidays and come home and then come back and all that. I just want to, once I get going, I want to get there and get going, get out on the road and start making money, and probably won't even go home for a couple 3 months and all. But anyway, so that's the update with Maverick. At least they did get back with me. Apparently their application process does take 3 to 4 months. Don't understand that either, but at least you're approved before you get there. You don't have to worry about that. The only thing you have to worry about being sent home is if you flunk a drug test, which that's not going to be an issue for me, or, some kind of medical or whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead and get a DOT physical done before I go at my expense. I think they're about $50 or a little bit less, but that way I know. And that way, if for some reason their doctor comes up and says something, I'm going to challenge it. I'm also going to get my own hair follicle test before I go. And that's going to be about $100. But see, the hair follicle test, and I went to the laboratories that do the testing. I went and watched their YouTube videos just because they're going to be the most accurate. And they do state that the hair follicle test is the number one false positive test that anybody does. I'm going to get one done, and that way, if for some reason I get a false positive when I'm there, I can show them, hey, I just had this done a few days ago, and it was negative. And, you also do urine, so my urine's clean. And at least that way I got a ground to stand on, because that just scares me, a false negative, when it could impact me being able to go back to driving a truck for 5 or 10 years. And when I know that I'm totally, not positive, but I don't know, it just scares me. So I'm going to go ahead and spend the extra money and get that done and all. But also, I had a video up and I took it back down because I kind of got a little harsh with it, but I did apply at night and was turned down because they say I didn't have any employment in the last 12 months. I worked at Six Flags last season, but I hadn't worked in 14 months, and so they said, well, you do not qualify. And I told them, well, I'm on disability. Now, I do have a doctor's release to go back to work without restrictions, when the time gets here. But I'm on disability, which counts as a job. I get a paycheck every month. And legally, they can't turn you down for that. But they did. And, of course, I can't get them to send me anything in writing for it and all. But I don't really care that much because I decided I didn't want to go there anyway, because the recruiter, who was really kind of short with me, I thought, after I finally got him to get back in touch with me, I kept leaving messages, and finally I contacted another recruiter and let him know that he wasn't returning my calls, and about 15 minutes later I got a call and he sounded aggravated. But that's his problem, not mine. But after he told me that if I wanted to go to their CDL school, I would have to get my own way to Phoenix, pay $500 down, and pay for my motel up front, which, now you're looking at $1,500 to $2,000 right there, when I could go to Swift and not have to pay anything down. And it's right here in outside of Dallas, less than 3 hours from me. So I just told him, when he told me all that, and they start out actually about 3 to 4 cents less a mile than Swift does. for people out of CDL school, which I hate that I have to go to CDL school with all the experience that I have, over 20 years driving experience, over 1,000,000 miles, probably over 1.5 million miles, all safe, no accidents, and well, no preventable accidents. That reminds me of a quick story I'll tell you. I did get a non-preventable accident, and I may have put this in another video, but when I was with CFI, as I'd parked the truck stop, and went in to go to the restroom, when I come out, a truck had backed into the side of my truck and put a big scrape across all the little compartment door on the side that you open up where you can keep your tools and whatnot. It's under the bunk and all. And of course, I immediately reported it to them, and they actually gave me a non-preventable accident. And I said, "How can you charge me with anything when I was in the bathroom inside the truck stop when this happened? I shouldn't have been charged with anything." I was actually pissed off about that. But anyway, it was a non-preventable. They said, "Well, it's non-preventable, so it doesn't count." I said, "I don't give a damn if it's preventable or non-preventable. I wasn't even there. I parked in a legal spot, was legally parked, and but anyway, I think it's kind of funny. Then I didn't, and I'm sorry. I looked over at the Houston game. They're about to score a touchdown. It looks like they're on the inside the 1 yard line, and there they go, touchdown Houston. They're going to go up probably 23 or 24-16 if their kicker can make the extra point. He's already missed one. Anyway, like I say, that's what happened with Knight. I'm not interested in going to them. Swift is if Maverick doesn't. What do? I guess I got to weigh the pros and cons about this, because I'm actually fixing to put an application with Prime. Believe it or not, Prime Inc. It seems like they've stepped up their game and got better, and they'll start me out at 50 cents a mile out of. They have CDL training, but they don't have a CDL school. Weirdest thing I've ever seen. With Prime, you do your physical and which they pay for, and get your learner's permit in your home state. That's one thing I don't like about Maverick, is having to go to Arkansas and do that all in Arkansas. I'd rather have the permit done before I get there and have a Texas license, because that's where I live and where I'm going to be living. But it's not a deal breaker. But with Prime, you do that, and you go up there and you have like a couple of days of orientation with a driving simulator and all that kind of stuff, which that's going to be like a video game. That's going to be fun for me. And instead of doing like a CDL school on a facility where they have, a driving pad and driving areas and all that, you actually go out on the road with a trainer and get your CDL learning and all on the road, driving with a trainer, which I don't know if that's good or bad, to be honest with you. I don't know. For me, it's not going to be bad because I do have all the experience. I just got to start over because it was 10 years ago. But I think I might actually enjoy that. I'm going to put that as a pro, because I got to do pros and cons of all these companies. And to be honest with you, doing the pros and cons and sitting back, I'm thinking that Maverick is still, if they stay in touch with me, that just pisses me off if that recruiter don't. But, something, that's his bad, not necessarily a reflection on the company. And I think Maverick is edging slightly above anybody else. So as long as they approve me, which she said that was the only thing that they had left to do, so apparently they are going to approve me, because I guarantee you there's no doctor's going to say that because I had my kidney removed in 2011 I'm not going to qualify. That's ridiculous. But apparently they have some people that are disqualified because of chemo or radiation, because she was real strong about that. But I don't know. Anyway, some of the pros and cons. Maverick, all the drivers that I've seen videos from, I've seen one driver that was unhappy with him, and he said because he said all the time, but he's the only one that said that. And actually, the main problem could have been the nut in between the steering wheel and the back of the seat, or the front of the seat. Him. If he wasn't running the right way or whatever, I don't know. He called him king of the 34-hour restart, which if you're running hard, there's different ways you can do it. A 34-hour restart every week's not going to kill you. If you do your hours right, you'll never have to do a 34-hour reset because you just run off your logs that that you get the hours back after on the 8th day. And also, like I say, I've seen most of the videos I've seen from Maverick drivers or how they treat you well and all. And I've seen videos where, like, when you graduate orientation, you get the certificate, and I think they call it Hall of Fame or whatever. You walk down this hallway, and the CEO of the company, the president, CEO, and all that, and all the top people in the company are all there, shaking your hand and giving you high fives. And they talk about all just how Maverick, being it's not a super mega carrier, it's not a big mega carrier and all that. They treat you like a person, and I tend to believe that. That's definitely a pro. They have APUs on their trucks, which is a pro. Swift does not have APUs on the truck, which is a big con for me. Big con. Because there's a lot of areas where you can't idle your truck. Now, I know they got this optimized idle thing. They've got bunk heaters that work, off of diesel and all that, and that's fine in the wintertime. But what if it's in the summertime? In California, in most places, you can't idle your truck, I don't think, for more than 3 minutes or 5 minutes. And if you've got to sleep, for on your 10-hour break, and you're in a place in Southern California and it's 95 degrees, and you know how hot it's going to be in that truck, and you can't run it. An optimized idle is supposed to turn the truck on and off, but if it's that hot, it's going to have it on most of the time, and then you're going to be breaking the law. So I don't know how they get around that, but no APUs is kind of a big con. Another big pro about Maverick is they don't do any team driving during training. And that's the way it should be. I think team driving during training, y'all know this by listening to other videos, is not just horrible, but stupid idea. All it does is make the company more money. It doesn't help. And I've asked like 3 or 4 different trainers on their YouTube videos, how is it beneficial to the trainee to team drive during training? And none of them will answer my question. They'll answer other questions that I have, but they will not answer that question. And it's obvious. There's no good answer for it. It's just stupid, but it's part of the game, so that's going to be a con for Prime. But Prime does have APUs and really nice trucks and better mileage pay starting out than Swift. So I'm at least going to put an application and talk with them and see how that goes. That way I get my foot into multiple doors. But another pro for Maverick is they have a terminal like within 30 minutes from where my son lives in North Carolina. So I'll be spending a lot of my off time there. And, but like I say, I just got some things to think about and things to, consider. It's getting closer, but it's still nearly 3 months away. Hair's growing back in nice, a little bit more on my face than on my head. I ain't going to show you my head because it looks like I will too. What the heck? Looks like a peach. Yeah, fuzzy, see like that. I'm trying to get it to start going over this way. But I should have plenty enough hair for the hair follicle test by the time that gets here. And look at me. I'm wearing my Dallas Cowboys. I've got my shorts and go Cowboys and my Dallas shirt on because they play today, 3:25 Central Time, and got an American flag, Harley Davidson. God bless America. Okay, I'm going to cut this video off and sure have enjoyed making it. Got a new editor that I paid for. Let's see if I can get it to work right. Cross my fingers. I want to put a few pictures at the end. I've got a lot of pictures. Some of them are older on my computer, and my sister really loves seeing those pictures that I put at the end. So we'll see if that works. If not, I'll be calling them because I actually paid for it. And I'll be calling them. And another thing, within a few days of my new glasses will be here. And these here, you see, they're small. So my biggest problem was I was always looking over them. I can't get used to wearing glasses. And these are trifocals. And the doctor this last time said I did not need trifocals, which are very expensive. Even still with my insurance, I end up having to pay nearly $185 for them. But they'll be transition lenses, and I probably won't wear them while I'm making videos because they did offer me to get as you can see, when I put these on, see how the computer screen glares in them, unless I look down like this. Excuse me, I'm a smoker. But So they said, yeah, I can get that to where it won't, so they don't have to worry about it when I'm making my videos. But that was an extra $55. I said, you know something, I don't care if they're going to glare back. I'll either take them off or look down or something. I'm not going to pay an extra $50+ just so my computer screen don't glare in my glasses. Sorry, guys, I'm not going to. Y'all probably rather see me without them. And it's like I say, I don't really need these damn things except for to read and walk and, see, stuff like that. But anyway, that's about all I can think of right now for this video. I'm approaching 20 minutes. It'll probably be a little bit longer when I put the pictures in. But anyway, keep the rubber side down, the shiny side up. Everybody says that. Please do not forget to thank your military and first responders, and please move over for any emergency vehicle, including and especially tow trucks on the side of the road. Give those guys a break, the guys and gals a break, because they're out there helping us. So until next time, this is the Barbecue Trucker. God bless America. Oh, one other thing. Baylor won again yesterday, 5-0, 2-0 in the Big 12, and UT won yesterday. Well, those are my two favorite college teams. And the only time I don't cheer for UT is when they're playing Baylor, because I am a Baylor fan, as you can see right here, Baylor. But anyway, UT's going to have a tough one next week. It's a Red River showdown or shootout or whatever they call it, Oklahoma. And they always play them tough, though, so it should be a good game. But anyway, until next time, this is the Barbecue Trucker saying, God bless America. See y'all in the next video.